round out the top 20. Brand new writing agents, Tyler Knox, Erica V, Marquita Taylor, Brandon A, Holly B, and Simon B. 52 agents, 190 apps. Great job, guys. Keep up the good work. All right, so we don't have to do anything now, do we, Marco? All right, perfect. So without further ado, I want to introduce April Ybarra. I saw her in my office, not on my team, but you were in the office. We're all on the same team, to be clear, but not on my direct team. It was cool because you were in here late one time. Chris and I were talking strategy, playing darts. You were just banging the phones and you sounded really good. And I'm like, what leads are you setting right now? And you're like, instant internet leads. Like, how much business did you write last week? You shyly said like 12,000. So how much business are you going to issue this month? You're like over 30,000, right? Mm-hmm. And this is your second month in the business. First month, full-time. Right. Start your first 30 days, you were part-time. Right. So it's an honor for you to be on the call with us. I think there's a ton of new agents on this, tons to learn. Let's break down how you got to FFL, what your goals are, your schedule, some of your script stuff that you're doing, and your overall mindset to overcoming objections and to win each week. And you said, I think you did another 10,000 last week, right? Right. So consistently killing it. So April, what were you doing before you came to FFL? So I actually studied digital retailing with I double majored in fashion merchandising and a minor in marketing. So it's a mouthful. But I actually lived in Uganda, Africa for like 3 years. And I'm very entrepreneurial. So my friend and I interned there, and then my friend and I launched a startup there. And so I lived there, and anyway, I had a spiritual awakening, and then I moved back here to the US, and I was working. I was attending school, like a spiritual school, and I was just working like odd jobs here and there, doing like side gigs, graphic design, things like this. And then recently I was in Pennsylvania working for a nonprofit organization. And what they do is they travel and they just like throw parties in like garbage dumps all over the world, and they just like love on people. And so I was kind of doing some administrative work there with the founder. I was her PA. Wow. And then so I was there for 2 years assisting her, and then I moved to Texas. And I was honestly, COVID happened, traveling came to a stop, and I was like, I want to like make money that I don't want to work that hard. And I just want to make like 10K a month. And so I was literally on Job Recruiter, and I'm from San Antonio, Texas. That narrowed it down a bit. I don't want to work that hard, and I want to make 10 grand a month. So on your job search, when you're searching for that, I imagine there's a couple question marks that popped up. I mean, like I had some friends that were making this much, and they were doing everything online. Mm-hmm. And, but it was just not the like coaching, things like this. And so I was like, I want to obviously work hard because I have a work ethic, but I was like, I don't want to work as hard as people I see that they work so hard and they only make 3,000 a month or 1,200 a month. And I'm like, you guys are working so hard and you guys have an amazing work ethic, but you're not making enough. And so I guess that's what I was explaining, because a lot of my family members are like, you're not going to find that much. So anyway, so I was browsing on Job Recruiter, and I was like, I'm going to make 10K a month, like, no, without a doubt. So I was looking for jobs, and everything was in the insurance industry. And I was like, I don't want to sell insurance. Like, I mean, I don't mind coaching, doing something that I'm into. But I was like, I don't want to do that. And so everything was just insurance. So I was like, fine, I'll just apply. So with Job Recruiter, it's like a one click. So you can just one click and then apply to like 20 jobs at once. And so I did that, and came across Family First Life. Long story short, I discovered them. I watched YouTube videos of Nina D and Deidre. Mm-hmm. And they were like, they were talking about making 20K a month. And I was like, they just made it sound so easy. And they shared their phone script, and I was like, is this legit? And I was like, I bet you these are actresses. I'm going to see if this is legit. And so, cause I'm very like, I buy in, but I do my research. And so I was like, I'm going to look up this
this girl, because her name is Damjanovic. And I was like, she can't be hard to find with that last name. So I found her on Instagram, and her feed wasn't insurance related, but all her stories were. And so I reached out to her and I was like, do you still work at FFL? And she's like, yes, I'm in love. And so anyway, long story short, we ended up connecting. She was in Hawaii at the time. And I was actually planning on living there and like working like a digital nomad. And anyway, a long story short, now I'm working on her team. So huge thanks to her and everyone, Jordan, John.
Yeah, it's a heck of a journey, right? That you've had to get here. So you onboarded, took a couple weeks to get your writing numbers, and you're like, I'm going to test the waters. You're going to do part-time. What did that look like for you? What did part-time mean to April?
So honestly, it took me even a while to get my license. I was kind of traveling and I was just kind of like, and I was still like kind of on the sidelines seeing if this was legit. I would follow her, and then she would tag people, and I would go and reach out to them and make sure it was legit and kind of follow their stories too. And I'm like, I want to see if this is real. So anyway, I decided I'm just gonna finish my test. So I took a week out and completed my test and got my license. And then I just started buying game time leads and CRM leads, instance, 1 month old, 3 month old. And the first 30 days, I would say that I was in, but I was half in. Like I wanted to see if it worked. And it's just new, you know what I mean? It's just new. You're going into people's houses. It's just another realm.
Did you enjoy it your first 30 days?
I did. I enjoyed helping people. Like
I was going to say, because you're from that. That's where your heart is, helping people. It sounds like, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I think my first customer, I was like, telling my mom, I was like, but mom, it's like, I got to help this guy. He like really needed insurance. And I was just sharing like all of his medical issues. And I was like, it just feels good to help them, you know? So, and just leaving them in a better situation for their kids. So, and then recently I moved to Dallas, and I'm in an Airbnb right now. I'm just kind of like Airbnb hopping until I find a home here. And I love with FFL, I can actually travel. Like if I want to go to Hawaii and live there for a month or 2 months, I could, because there's leads there.
So what was the turning point for you from the transition from part-time to then going full steam ahead, full time?
So I did some travel trips in Dallas before, because I knew I was going to move here with some friends anyway. So I moved here and I was like, I just want to try it out to see, because I wasn't doing that well in my home state. And I was like, maybe it's just, you know, this area. So I was like, let me see and move to like a bigger city. So I came out here and also wanting to test the waters before I moved here. And so I did well. And then I was like, all right, let me come back like in another week. So I came back to Dallas. I did well. I was like, all right. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to fully move out in Airbnb. I don't have a house, but I'm just going to live in an Airbnb for now. So I got all my stuff and packed my Jeep and moved out here. And now I'm just kind of like, out here, you know, and it's been really good. But I realized that I thought I was full-time because this was my only full-time job, I guess, if you will say a job. But I was like, actually my activity, then I would get mad at myself because I was like, April, why didn't you if you're not talking to yourself, you should, because good self-talk is good for your soul and just for yourself. So I was like, you know, why didn't you hit your goal? Why didn't you make this amount this week? And I was like, because you didn't set that many appointments. Your activity is not full-time. You say you want to make, you know, X amount a month, you want to make X amount a week, but you're not dialing on the phone. You're, you have, another, a coffee date or whatever. You're just things that I was doing that was just kind of like not, I wasn't being, organized with my schedule.
Sure.
And I started to say, yeah. And so I was like, I'm tired of excuses. Like, you're not telling myself, like, you're not, you want to be this producer, but you're not putting in the work. You're not dialing. So what are you going to do about it? So I was like, fine. So I'm going to go to the office, which I'm so thankful for this office. Thank you for opening up to everyone. So I came out here and I just started dialing, and then I don't leave until I get the appointments that I need. and it's usually until like 9, 8:50.
Yeah. Yeah. I noticed you're here late. So
Yeah.
you say self-talk or conversation with
Right.
yourself. That's also self-accountability. So you had a ton of self-accountability when you made the decision that you wanted to be and make the money that you told yourself and you convinced yourself that you were going to make.
Mm-hmm.
What were you spending on leads as a part-time agent?
Not a lot. I think the first batch I bought was like $300.
Yeah.
But I would say now I'm spending like $1,000, but now I upped it to like 1,800 now.
You're buying your income, right? So the more you're spending, the more income you're really going to make from that. And it takes some time for that to actually sink in to a lot of new agents or really people that are transitioning into an entrepreneur mindset, because you don't understand it takes money to make money. So you got to spend to get the production that you want to get.
Exactly.
So the first few weeks in April, I think you were writing on average 10,000. Let's talk about your schedule and your phone script. I know you have your phone script that you brought with you on your phone. So you wanted to make sure you were prepared. So doing a little bit of role play with you and I don't even need to be your client, but let's run through what you say on the phone and how you get people to set the appointments. And most importantly, what I noticed you did really well that stuck out to me was your solidification of the appointment. Half of your appointment, half of your phone call was setting it. And then really, I don't know if you do that for everybody, but man, half of the call was just solidifying it. And you told me that your show ratio was really good. So for our group, let's run through what you say on the phone and then how you solidify your appointments.
Okay. Go ahead. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hi, Rob.
Yeah.
Hi, Rob. This is April. I was just getting back to you in regards to the form you filled out. It was about the life insurance information. I have your address as 1234 Success Lane. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And I have your birthday as April 23rd, 1943. Is that correct?
That's me.
Okay, great. So when you filled this request out, were you looking to get coverage on just yourself, or do you have a spouse or child in mind as well?
It was just for me.
Okay, great. So all these programs are all non-medical, which means there are no physical exams, needles, or blood work required. Instead, they send me out as a field underwriter to find the best program that you might qualify for based on your health. Would you say you're pretty healthy for the most part?
Yeah, I'm pretty healthy. I think
so. You haven't had any like cancer, tumors, or anything like that in the last 2 to 5 years?
No. Okay. I had prostate cancer a while ago, I'm a diabetic, but besides that, I'm pretty healthy for my age.
So it was like over 5 years ago, right?
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. So my job is super simple. I deliver this information to several families each week. It usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes to see which of the different insurance carriers will offer each family the lowest rate. Now, are you still working, retired, or disabled?
Working part-time, usually home by 2:00.
Okay, great. So it looks like they have me dispatched in your area tomorrow and Wednesday, seeing about 10 other families who requested this information. You said that you work till 2:00. I actually have something open at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Does that work for you? I have a 3 or a 5.
I'll do a 3. Let's do a 3.
Okay, awesome. And so do you have a pen and paper handy? I just want to give you my name and my state license number.
I'll go get one.
Okay, just let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready for you.
Okay. If you want to write down my name, it's April, like the month.
Okay.
And my state license number is 12345.
I got it.
Okay, great. And can you just repeat that back to me?
Your license number is 12345.
Yes. And do you have any dogs that I should be aware of, or gate codes?
I have 3 dogs, no gate code.
Okay. And is it okay if I park in the driveway?
Yeah, you can park in the driveway.
Okay. I drive a charcoal Jeep and I have curly hair.
We'll look for it.
Okay, great. Well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. And like I said, I'll be parked in the driveway, and I look forward to meeting you and helping you.
That's great. I mean, you get right to it. And there's a lot of different scripts out there for the instant internet. Those are for instant leads. I'm thinking.
I use it for everything.
Doesn't even matter.
Doesn't matter.
Calling you about the form you filled out. Were you looking for coverage on just you or your spouse or your kids?
Exactly.
Like there's no room.
If they tell me their husband or their daughter, then that's 2 policies.
Right.
That's 3 policies. So I just pay attention to that. I'll put that in my notes and then ask when I'm there.
Yeah. Did you take a basic script and add some to that? Or did you pretty much just stick to what was working for
I
people?
just sticked with, I think it was Spencer Fagioni. He posted a script like a while, right when I started.
Okay.
And he's like, this has been working for internet leads. And I took it and I just and then I've just been using that. It's been working.
Yeah.
So I use it for everything.
Clearly working, right?
Yep.
And your show ratio, you'd say what percentage of your appointments show up?
80%.
80%.
Yeah.
So I think company average on instant internet leads is about 50%. So you're getting 30%. I mean, that's 60% more for you to stick. That's crazy. So how many appointments are you setting a week?
I try to set 20.
Okay.
But if I set like 14, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
And then I put door knocks in there. If people hang up on me, that's a door knock. Or if I have reschedules, I'll try to, or if they no show me, I'll try to reschedule them. Yeah. And I double book.
What that makes sense. So when you're door knocking, do you try to get right in then, or do you schedule that for another day and time?
I'll ask if I have time right now, or I can come back tomorrow.
What does your opening sound like when you knock on the door? Hi, I'm April. And then what do you say?
I just say, hi, I'm April. I'm here for a life insurance appointment. And they'll say, oh, hi. I forgot about our appointment, actually. Like last week.
You say that on your door knocks?
What?
Like, hi, I'm here for a life insurance appointment?
Yeah.
And you just knock on the door and say that?
Yeah.
That's so simple, but.
So last week.
Even if it's not scheduled?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, and then also last week, somebody tried to cancel on me. They actually canceled through text message and I showed up anyway. And I said, hi, I'm here, for our insurance appointment. She's like, didn't you see my text message? I sent you a text message canceling. And I said, oh, you did. Cause I saw it, but I didn't open it. And she's like, but you're here anyway. So she opened the door and that was like a $5,000 policy.
Whoa.
It was almost $6,000.
What'd you sell her?
It was a $400,000 term.
Dang.
With Americo.
Wow. That's a big boy.
Yeah.
Okay. So moral of the story, go even if they cancel.
Yep. Yeah.
So
always.
what do you attribute to? So you read a lot of business, right? And you set less appointments than most people writing 10 to 15,000 a week. What do you attribute to your high closing percentage?
Honestly, I would say just not going in there with commission breath. I would say just going in there and helping them and really going in there to help them and giving them options and being personable and not just like, this is business. I mean, obviously it's business, but if they like you, they're going to recommend you to their family and you'll be their family agent. So
what are some things that you say in the house? Doesn't need to be one-liners, but just like an approach to get them to trust you and like you in the beginning, because people buy from who they like, right?
Right.
What's your demeanor like in the house?
I just smile. I wear a mask, but I always just pull it down and I smile. And I say, just so you can see my smile.
You say that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they'll say, oh yeah. And then sometimes they'll say, you can take it off. And so I'll do that. And I'll just say, how are you doing? And we'll just kind of do some small chat. And then I'll say, can we sit at a table? Have a lot of things to write down. They'll say, sure. Sometimes they'll make me coffee and then play with their dog. And then I'll just kind of get into it and just verify myself. But I think tone is everything. Yeah.
I agree.
Right.
What's your tone like in the house?
It's just very calming, peaceful. Like obviously I'm in control, but I'm not rude or like, this is what's going to happen. You know what I mean? That's just me because that's my style. So I'm just myself but I'm also very to the point and direct and to letting them know this is what is best for you because you've waited 65 years to not get insurance. So let's take care of this today, but not being rude about it.
Do you get many objections at the end or do you beat those down throughout the presentation?
Honestly, I just tell them at the end, I'll say, which works best for you? I give them 3 options and I'll say, which of these works best for you? And then they'll say, I think I had an objection the other day. They didn't want to give me their credit card information. They're like, I can't do that.
Sure.
And I said, okay, well, I don't ask for it in the beginning. I just assume. I just go to the appointment assuming, and then I just ask them for their social, and then I just go through the whole thing, and then I'll ask for their information at the end. Like, okay, and is this so?
That makes sense.
Yeah,
you want to ask for it at the end, right? You don't need to get it.
I don't need to get it in the beginning. But for some reason, in that particular appointment, I was asking him for his draft date. I was like, if you were to get approved today, because that's how I get them to start thinking about their checking account. I'm like, so if you were to get approved today, what day would you like them to draft your account every month?
Right.
And they'll say that, so they'll know, okay, they're just going to ask me. So then he was like, well, I don't feel comfortable filling it out. And I said, okay, well, it's not me asking for it. It's Americo. And I show him the application. I said, so I can't actually know if you're approved or not until we submit an application for approval.
That's a pretty easy way to turn it around. I've done that a million times. They're like, I don't want to give you my bank info. It's like, it's cool. I'm not getting it. By the way, it's going to start itself out too as soon as you put it in there. So see if that works. That'll work a lot. So let's talk about overcoming obstacles in your brain, right? Your mindset. Not every day is perfect. What are some things that you've run into as a new agent that frustrates you, that have almost killed you, that you overcome and then flip those to strengths?
I would say whenever you get no-showed, of course, we've all been no-showed. And then also, just no-showed. And
so let's talk about no-shows.
Okay.
So we'll do then and now. So in the beginning, when you were part-time testing the waters, trying to figure out if this was for you, you probably got no-showed a few times. How did you react? How did you react then?
Just feeling like these leads are not legit, just feeling like, man, I need to make money and this is not working.
Okay. Victim thinking almost, right?
Right. And I wouldn't say victim thinking because I'm not a victim, but I was just kind of frustrated. To me, it's challenging and I like to be challenged. And so I'm like, it actually made me want to do more to prove that like I can do it.
Okay.
So, but you do have your moments, right? And you're like, oh, this is so hard,
So what would you do when you were thinking that in the beginning? Like, would you go home or what would
honestly, I mean, sometimes I'd have to cry. Like, I honestly, just being honest, being honest. Like, sometimes I'm like, I just need to cry, and I just let myself cry.
Yeah.
And then I start laughing, and then I'm like, okay, now I'm done. What are you going to do about it? And so and then making a plan. But like, if you need to cry, cry. Like, okay, have your moment, but you only get an hour, or you only get 30 minutes, or you only get 10 minutes of whatever you want to do. But then that's it. But I noticed too, like, sometimes when you tell people, I try not to tell people, like people that are not in the industry, because then you can leech off of that and then you both are like miserable together. But like trying to share it with yourself or with someone that's not even in the business, get encouragement, your friends that love you. You can do this, girl. You got this. You know what I mean? And then also feeding yourself with FFL podcasts, feeding yourself with just encouragement that you
plenty
can
of
do
positivity.
This. Yeah,
there, right?
absolutely. And then you'll definitely see results.
So that was then. So this is like the tagline for the call from crying to crushing it, by the way. So now when you get no-showed, how do you react to
when
it
I get
now?
No-showed,
when you get no-showed now, how do you overcome that?
I'm going to come back.
Okay.
Like before I would just be like, dang, you know what I mean? But now I'm like, I'm actually going to come back at a different time and catch them. Or
how many times does that work for you? I used to do that all the time where they no-show you and then you drop by like 3 hours later.
Yeah. I've actually sold to some of them. They're like, sorry, I forgot about her. Sorry. Yeah, come back, but I've actually sold to them. So it just depends on your schedule. I really try to just schedule my appointments, solidify my appointments so I don't have no-shows, and so that I don't have door knocks. If I have door knocks, I have door knocks. Sure. But I'd rather, I'm using my time so that I can get better on the phone. I'm using my time so that I can solidify those appointments. They will be there.
Let's talk about the phone. So you're using the phone time. You're protecting your dial time.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely. I didn't used to do that.
And you're in the office later than most. Yeah. What are the hours of the day that you find you get the most pickups and you set the most appointments? Like a couple time ranges there.
I would say all day.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That wasn't a trick question, but you are in the office late, and you're in the office late for a reason. People are picking up when you're there between 7:30 and 8:45.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of pickups during that hour?
I actually got 3 appointments between 8:30 and 9.
It's crazy.
Yeah, last week. So I think that it doesn't matter. I mean, you'll hear people say between this hour and this hour is dead, but honestly, it's not true. Just keep dialing. So
Because you just never know.
Yeah.
You never know who's going to pick up. Could be at 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Could be, dang, the biggest one you ever sold.
Right. So as early as possible and as late as possible.
So where do you see yourself a quarter from here? So you're 2 months in, you know, after summer, do you see yourself building a team, just continuing to produce at a high level? What are your goals?
Right. So I have someone in contracting right now. I think I have like 4 people in pre-licensing. I just talked to a friend today. She said she wants to get on board. I think when people also see your own success, they know you, they're like, whoa, this is legit, you know? So seeing you and seeing Nina and seeing the whole team, it just inspires me. And I'm like, I would love to do this. I would love to just, you know, get an integrity deal. So, and I know last week you told me when you were on the field a lot, you would write 20K a week. And I was like, oh, I want to like get to that level of doing that. So it's kind of fun too, because I see this as like a game, because I see people on leaderboards and then they're like 10K a week, 20K a week. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to be at the bottom of the list. I want to be on the top. And it's just kind of, it's fun too, you know, because it's like, I want to compete with you, but in a healthy way.
For sure. And you enjoy it. 100%. And you enjoy what you're doing, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you really
definitely.
like your job. You were saying, you said something when you were here late. You were like, you like all like the positive vibes, like the good that's coming out of the office, and being in the office is really important. So one of the things I think that helps any new agent, and you particularly, because you mentioned it earlier, is that being around people and dialing together, where it might be distracting at first, like there's a vibe, and it's good to catch those, and it drives you, and you don't want to be the person that sucks on the phone. You want to, or the one that's not setting any appointments. It doesn't feel good. So letting an environment drive you.
Yeah. And seeing everyone, they get hung up, people hang up on them, and then they get, you know, whatever, no show too. And they're amazing producers. And so when you're there and you're in community, it's like, this is the game. This is how, you know, it's normal.
It's awesome.
Go to the next call. So
awesome freaking mindset. So as a new producer, young woman, building a business, killing it, what advice do you have for the new agents that are tuning in now? What are some things you would hope they would implement from hearing you today to change their business for the better?
So I would say, obviously going all in for sure. And running as many leads as you can and investing it. I would say don't buy frivolous. When you do get paid, don't like go spend your money, because that's another thing that I've met agents and then they just go spending all their money. And so I would say right now I'm learning, okay, I made this amount of money, so I want to invest it back into the business. And so I would say go all in, and then do it. Like, don't say you want to make 30K and then you don't do it. Don't say you're going to make 10K this month or 20K this month and then you don't do it. Do it. Like, if you said you're going to do it, do it. And what are you going to do to get there? And also know that there's going to be challenges, and there's going to be those emotional days, and you're going to get chargebacks. It just comes with running a business. So expect that. And but also reach out to your manager, reach out to me. You can, just to get better so that you don't get those chargebacks, because nobody likes chargebacks, but it's bound to happen when you're running a business, any business. And then I would also say, implement what when you hear these calls, don't just let it be a good message or good motivation, but actually, okay, when you get off this call right now, like, what are you going to do? Are you going to dial? Are you going to say, I want to make this amount of appointments for tomorrow? Are you going to, like, do it? Don't just listen to me and then say that was nice.
Amazing stuff.
Yeah.
So you heard it here first. First podcast for you will definitely not be the last with FFL. Great content. Awesome job. Great story, from crying to crushing it. Best of luck to you. Thank you so much for your time and pouring into our agency. It was a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.